All right, now let's get to this topic. I told you Dan Le Batard, who I got healthy, full respect for, is going to be in this show a few times. We're going to talk about Dan Le Batard because he gave some clips, and they were, whew, in terms of beyond your normal scope, behind the scenes information and intel, Dan Le Batard went there, right? So Dan Le Batard is going to talk to you guys about what's happening right before our very eyes. And a lot of people aren't noticing, and a lot of people are. Let's see what side of the fence you are. So let Dan Le Batard talk that talk, and we going to break this down. Let go.
Do you think that at any point in my sports writing career, the DraftKings deal is worth so much more than people think it is? Stephen A. knows this. McAfee knows this. If you're in business with us, if you're in loyalty with us, I just walked into another studio and I saw Pablo Torre and Skipper and Sampson doing a podcast that I know to be smarter about sports business than anything, and I know how you're consuming it. So there are a whole lot of people who want to learn about this. They don't just happen to be our audience, which wants us to do normal hijinks, but I'm explaining to you and the audience, hey, the normal hijinks pay for everything, and also, hey, Stephen A., you don't have to be a company, man. You're a company, man. Like, you can come out and keep us company.
But I think Stephen A. I think he thinks he could pull it off, both of them. He could stay at ESPN and still be.
He can.
Right.
He can. All of these but why doesn't anybody care when what I'm pointing out to you is Fox got into this business in the laziest way possible. They just said, hey, Bayless, hey, Cowherd, can you come over here and hot take? And they built everything they built. And then in that time, First Take contaminated everything. All of it went to garbage debate television. And in the doing of that, Stephen A. Smith kills the end of the guy's career who gave him the entire opportunity to work at ESPN. That is the top of our game. And I still don't understand. I'll have to put down my sword because it's clear that nobody wants to hear about it.
Man. That was a ninja star take. I mean, and then everything that was spinning will slice you up. He broke down so many layers of what's happening right now. I want to break them down with him as well. Because what's happening before our very eyes is a shift. We all see the shift. But he also highlighted potentially the death of debate TV. That's Skip Bayless. When Skip Bayless is not renewed, Skip Bayless is let go. And then you see Stephen A., who's really the top dog, shifting with the shift, hybrid role of I'm on First Take, we number one, but I'm also carving out me a lane on this podcast, doing my own studio, my production company, etc., right? Necessity is the mother of invention, y'all. And it's necessary for us to shift, to evolve, to stay alive, survive, and thrive. We got to keep moving. And it's crazy because Dan has highlighted exactly what he's done and how he's doing it. So Dan and I, last time I saw Dan, it was to do South Beach sessions. It felt like last year, at the end of last year. And we did it. And then on top of doing that, we had discussions, little discussions about what I was up to, what he's up to. He's talking about his growth, what they're doing, people who are buying into the company. He mentioned DraftKings and how lucrative that deal is. That deal is so lucrative, it's allowed Dan Le Batard to acquire other assets in partnership, work with other production companies. All the Smoke, Matt Barnes, and Steven Jackson come to mind. You see that? Look at All the Smoke now. You'll see DraftKings network with it too. That's in partnership with Dan Le Batard, who has it all under his umbrella, right? With the DraftKings deal. So all this is happening. And Dan and I are talking. And I walk around right now with a lottery ticket. And I think you guys know it, and I certainly do know it. And the person who has the other lottery ticket knows it as well. We talked loosely about Max and Marcellus. Max and I still talk. That's my dog. That's because it's my friend. So, we always going to talk. We know we got that in our back pocket, but we'll save that for later. When's later? when it's greater. We'll talk through that. But Dan and I were talking about opportunities, and I see how robust Dan's operation is. And the only thing that, kept us from like talking further is simply, and I say this healthy, with a healthy amount of respect, I don't want to work for Dan. I want to be Dan. I want to be Dan Le Batard in that capacity. I want to bring things under my umbrella. I want to bring things to me in partnership, right? Now, that's the difference. Dan Le Batard, along with John Skipper, who used to run ESPN, salute to that Columbia Lion, are running things. They are killing it right now, and I love to see it. And they're not alone. They're not alone. Peyton Manning is killing things with Jamie Horowitz, who started Debate TV, Embrace Debate, started First Take, started Sports Nation, started Uninterrupted. We all know that Colin Cowherd and Pat McAfee, The Volume, and Pat McAfee and his show are killing it with the guys, whoever they have, that's killing it with them, right? So as you see this shift, and Stephen A is sitting there, and you saw the Jay-Z line come out, company man, you're a company, man. Stephen A may have the best iteration of this that we've seen. Because as Dan left ESPN and started his, as Peyton Manning retired from football, started his, as Pat McAfee couldn't get into ESPN and started his, as Colin Cowherd is still at FS1, still a high-price free agent going up next year, like Stephen A, and still has his network. Stephen A and Colin are sitting there like, we may have the best version there is. We're hybrid. We're doing both. Fox is not happy about the volume, but what they going to do? Now, they really gave him leverage because there's no Skip Bayless to even argue with or say, well, he's eating up some of the salary cap. No more of that. So watch Stephen A and watch Colin Cowherd as this thing continues to shift, because you can see what's happening on this side. You can see what DraftKings has done with Dan Le Batard. You can see what BetMGM has done with Peyton Manning, etc. Now, what you're going to see is Volume, Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, and his production company. Are they going to be able to stay alive, linear cable, thrive linear cable, and still use that as a commercial for what they're doing in production? Because we saw it get reverse engineered when Pat McAfee said, let me go on the outside and come on in here. And he's doing it in that way. That's a different leverage point. Well, this asteroid effect just continues to occur. The model is just breaking off into pieces, disintegrating, going everywhere. And I knew it was happening, and everybody was like, why you leave? Or why they fire you? And I'm like, I tell you like it is. This is my first deal at Fox, 2018. 2018, they wanted me to do TV only, wanted me to do one show, Speak for Yourself, with Jason Whitlock. I fast forward, he leaves in 2020. I get Odd Show. In 2022, that same deal was to not do Speak for Yourself. Do First Things First, or let's talk about a different show, another show, make a show, do other show. That's where we started. But it also said, do radio. It also said, we want you to do a podcast. And I was like, I damn near begged y'all before on the last deal to let me do all those things. And now you want me to do those things? Something going on. And then I started looking around. And now you understand what it is. Linear cable versus the digital space. Your user behavior on demand. Everybody wants it when they want it. They want it in the short form. They want it in the long form. They just want it. And look, there's no exact rating system that works. There's no rating system that's exact, I should say. No, because Nielsen gets it wrong. We already could see that. Hey, it's 100 people in this sports bar. You only said there's 10 or, whatever Nielsen is going to rate it as. And even in the digital metrics space, there are bots. There are people out there, that just, the numbers got spiked, but those aren't real people. So nothing's perfect in this world, right? But at least in the digital space, you can use that hard data and leverage it better than you can even with these Nielsen ratings now, because Nielsen is shifting. So we're all just trying to be our own vessels a conduit for brands, sponsors, betting, casinos, anything to plug into, right? And that's what you see what's going on right now. And that's the space. Crazy. The death of what we call debate TV is not just because of Skip Bayless and him being fired and released. It's because everybody sees where this is going and everybody trying to get on that highway. The thing is, some of them are taking different lanes, and we're going to see how it all plays out. The best part of what he said, though, is that DraftKings deal. And I just want you guys to know, plugging into something like that has given him the battery in his back to allow him to be who Dan Le Batard is and who he's going to be, that ninja star that's going to slice it up in so many different ways for us to consume. Tell me what y'all thinking. Tell me what y'all feeling, what y'all seeing out there. Y'all see it, huh? Like, man, because we have a lot of conversations about debate TV. We have a lot of conversations about what's happening on TV. A lot of conversations what's happening in this space of digital and the independent space. But it ain't going to stop. The opportunities that are coming my way right now, the opportunities that will continue to come my way, and that's just me, y'all. And I haven't even stepped into what I'm trying to create and cultivate fully in production. It's in the works. But first, I had to cleanse my palate, as they say. I had to reset who y'all thought I was because of the law of association, y'all thought I was Acho, y'all thought I was Whitlock, y'all thought I was Thompson, y'all thought I was Beadle, y'all thought I was Kellerman. I'm just me, dog, trying to connect with y'all. So let's go on this journey together. But boy, it's a different road. It's windy, twisty, but it's exciting because it's lucrative. All right, tell me what y'all think. Beat it up in the comments. And y'all have an amazing day because I know I am. I'm about to go see my wife, make sure she's smiling from the inside. Then I'm going to go check on these itty bitties. And then that's life. Get this work in. All right, have an amazing day. I know I will. Ooh, that just jumped in my ear. Yes, I did. Man.